Hello to people watching. So basically today I'm going to be doing is obviously creating a Java game. You see here I've got this is all the code that was just loaded in default with Slick, so I haven't done anything in this. So I'm using Slick2D as the framework for the Java game, which essentially is like a kind of gives you the building blocks to building a 2D Java game. It's like you get the same sort of things as the usual Java, but kind of like extended classes, things like that. So at the moment, I'm just sending stuff out about creating a Java game at the moment. So I'll get into actually coding it in 10 seconds, a little bit more than that. But sorry about just entering my password and something. But yeah, so far it's going to be called Resource Defender, and basically the idea of the game is that I don't know if I'm going to keep the name Resource Defender, but that's what I'm calling it at the moment. And it's going to be a multiplayer game. I'm not going to build it multiplayer at first. Obviously, I'm going to get the main game working, then transfer it over to multiplayer. But then what I'm literally going to do is just obviously make sure it all works multiplayer. At first, it will just be just one person in each team, and then obviously from there on I'll try and add more multiplayer kind of characters, so then you can have teams of 4 or something. But basically what Resource Defender is, obviously 2 teams. The idea is you start off with an amount of resources, say 100 resources, and then you have these different boxes or some sort of defense system or defense like little blocks that you can place down. Probably you start off with just some basic blocks that you can place down, which will slow the enemy down or the other team into getting into your base. The idea is once you use up those resources, you then have to go and collect more, and you can do this by obviously killing mobs. There'll be some left. There'll also be laying on the ground. There'll be some chests that you can break open. But then the idea is you can use these resources to make other items such as drills or weapons to easily defend off. So you can use a drill, which will be it won't be the quickest way of getting through the defense, but it will do the most damage. Whereas a weapon will also do little damage but very quickly. So you kind of got to choose which one. But you can shoot the other team, but they won't, like, if they're dead, they won't completely die. They'll actually just respawn back at the start of their base. So the idea is obviously if you're out collecting resources, something, and you die or something like that, or if you get shot, or whatever, then you'll see you have to start back, and then you have to go back and go back to where you was. Collect more resources, stuff like that. You will keep resources when you die. It's not going to be that mean. But yeah, let's basically get to the basic coding. What I want to do at first is just want to get obviously the main window working. So if I was just debug this so far, you can see literally nothing there. This FPS counter is what comes default in Slick. Usually be about at least 1,000, but because I'm streaming it's slightly lower. Do tell me at some point if the stream is laggy. Feel free to chat in the Twitch chat. I am got that up and I will be watching that all the time. I will be taking suggestions from you guys. So what I need to do is I need to set the app.set display mode. I'm going to call this width, height, and full screen. So which means we're just going to create a private int width, private int height, and a private boolean of full screen, which equals false. And this height is going to be 1280 and 720, which is obviously 720p. So hopefully now do this. Why is that not working? Static. I forgot there to be static. Here we go. I don't know why, because I missed off that at the end. There we go. Stop that. Now I can do that. There we go. So we have a basic window open here. We've got Resource Defender at the top, which is being defined from here. There we go. Okay, so let's actually get with drawing something. I'm quickly just going to send this stream over to someone on Skype. I'm going streaming live at http://twitch.tv/grill. Put my phone on charge whilst I think about it. Right, okay. So that is now on there. I don't think I know if you get an option on Do Not Disturb. Why does Skype do that? Well, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to paste the text. Right. Hello. I just want to do that and then go copy selection, paste as text. Thank you. Streaming live. There we go. Minimize that. Here we are. Okay, so let's start with basic background. You can see here this is a test game I was doing here, which where is it? If I were to come here and debug this, you can see here I have basic. It's lagging slightly over the stream, but you can see I obviously have basic player and stuff. This is just some animations I was testing out. Yeah, it's laggy because off of the stream, but it's fine. So yeah, obviously I was just testing with like movements and stuff like that. So let's just create a basic background for now in Photoshop. I will get rid of this. What we're going to need to do is we will need to actually create a private image. Oops. Create private image, which is going to be background. We're going to need to import Slick version, not the Java version. And then what we can do is we'll continue this as a trial for now. I'll enter my serial some other time. If we go to the actual location, which you can see is displayed here, I know for a fact that this is going to be my Slick2D folder. I'll bring it over to here so you can see. IDE, this is just obviously Eclipse. Libs, which is all the Slick Java docs, which I had to import into Eclipse. I'll do a video some other time. Once you've done it once, you can then just select it for each project. Workspace, which is where all the projects are. This is a custom Minecraft launcher working on for a mod pack we've got. This is just test Slick app, make sure Slick was working. This is obviously the test game I was working on. And then here, Resource Defender is what I'm working on now. So we got bin, which is like, this is the output that's Eclipse does. So Resource Defender here, source here, net, Clicky Thomas, game, Resource Defender. Here's our Java file. Right. So now what we actually need to do is we have the source, but here we also need to create, if I believe, if it's the same thing, yeah, we actually need to create a res folder for this where we store our resources. So I'll just create res in there for now. Now if we go to Photoshop, we are going to need a new image here. So 1280, 720, oops, 720 there. Just create a white background for now. We'll probably just create a basic sort of bit where we can move around on. We'll just create for now, just to get something in there, we'll just literally create some grass and stuff. Even though obviously we're not going to have this, and it's going to be like a 2D bird's eye view kind of side scroller type thing. Really, like you got Pac-Man where that's face down. It's going to be that, but like a side scroller. We'll just create blue sky there. Oh, we need to unlock this background here. I am streaming in 1080p, so the quality should be pretty good. That there, let me know if it's not. I can just delete that. There we go. And then we'll just be derpy and we'll just draw a sun. Why not? I don't want to do the text. We'll just create a sun there. Not too perfect. So far at the moment I'll be doing the graphics, but I can always contact someone. I know someone who can do the graphics for me, which are very good. Part of, you know, when we did Minecraft mods together, makes with the graphics as well. Okay, this is totally not what we're going to use as a background, but it's a starting point. And what we actually could do is we could create just a few collision boxes, couldn't we? Which we'll just do as black for now. So do like one there, one there, and we'll just do that as black. There we go. So we have a lovely little background we got here. This is the old folder I don't want to be in. I want to be in there. Resource Defender, res, PNG please. Background. I can't type on this keyboard. There we go. None. Hello to people watching. If you've just joined, I'm making this Java game. I'm just creating graphics for it at the moment, and let me know how the stream is, if it's good quality or not. If any of you are in the chat, feel free to chat away. So hopefully in the res folder now, yes, we have our background file, which means we're going to need to refresh Eclipse, which we'll do here. Refresh. See in the res, we now got this. Well, every time we load graphics, it goes in the initiate function, which is here. So init. So we've got background equals new image, and then which is where it's going to be. So it's in res. Background .png. Most important to do with the file format. Oops, still can't type on this keyboard. And then render is literally just going to do background.draw. Just do. There we go. Hopefully that should work. Yay, there we go. We have our lovely. There's our game. There we go. Yeah, so yeah, this is looking pretty awesome at the moment. Now what we're going to need to do is we are going to need to load in a player. So we're going to create a new class. Yeah, the package is fine. So create a new class, and we'll call it. Should we call it that, or should we do? What did I do here? I put it under entities. I think we should do entities. So we'll create a new package, and we'll just call this .entities. Finish. Create a new class into there called player. There we go. Now have a player.java. Also gonna need public player. We're also gonna need. We could use a rectangle to store the thing, so we're gonna have a private rectangle rect. We're gonna need to import that. Control Shift O. We'll just do that one there. We need to use Slick. There we go. So now we have a rectangle here, which we can use to store the X, Y, width and height. So rather than doing it all manually, like with 4 different floats, we'll use that. Then we can create some functions later that will do that. So right now we just want to get some basic movement in. Have a look at the player I've got over here just to see how I did this. We've got the rect, we've got public player, image width this dot width equals width, rect equals new width height xy, defined here. We will create public float. Yeah, so we'll actually just create that here. Yeah, so public float x public float y. Here we go. I want an image, a float of a width, and then we also want a float height. I spelled that wrong. There we go. We're going to need to import that as well. So we'll import the slick image. This dot. I forgot to create one up here as well. Private image. Image equals image. Yeah, we can just do that from there, can't we? We'll do rect equals new rectangle. It is width height xy. Okay, width height. Oops. xy. What width is this going to use? Is this using? It's using that width and that height, which is good. That's what we want. And then the rest was just a public void update, which is what we're going to need. Public void render. Yep. Public void update. This is going to be from game container. Oops. Container. And then is that all it is? Yeah, and that's obviously going to throw the slick exception later on. Throws slick exception. Here we go. Game container. We need to import that, and we're also going to need to import this as well. There we go. Public void render. So we've got a render method now and an update method. That didn't quite go to plan. Okay, so now basically I'll just explain this. Right, we have this rectangle which we are going to use to store our width, height, and our x and y coordinate. X and y being from obviously the top left. Obviously, we've got this public flow x and y which we can use later on as well. This is just to get the actual rectangle. To set the x and y, we need to have a one defined beforehand, which is what we got here. And also we need it for when we render it as well. And then we've got this private image here. This image is also going to be the image of the actual player itself. This public player, this is what's going to happen every time we load a new player. Just a bit like an initiation code kind of thing. This is an update, so this is going to run all the time. So this is where we're going to put our keyboard, buttons, things like that. When we push a button, make it walk or do this, whatever, that's where it goes. And render, it's drawing it on screen. So in the render, we're just going to add image.draw. That's going to be x and y, which is why we needed the x and y here, so we can actually tell it where to draw. And I believe, is that X already set? No, it wasn't. Is anywhere actually setting it? It's not, because it's just there. We'll just set that to 0 for now. So it's going to draw the top left here. This dot image equals image. So then what we can do now, so we can just go private player. Then we'll just do player equals new player res slash, won't create this yet, we'll create it in a minute. The width, which is going to be which is also just going to be an int, and then that's also going to be an int as well. It will come back with errors because I haven't actually created that yet. We are going to need to import entities for that to actually work. There we go. And now, so we've got that. I think that's all we need for it. Yes, we do. So now we just create a basic player. A good size would be, say, what sort of size do we want it? We want it reasonably big, I suppose. 70 by, no, hang on, that's going to be 30, I think. No, 30 seems a bit too. 70, 50. We'll leave it as white for now so we can actually see it. That looks a bit too small, actually. Image size. So we'll increase that to 100, actually. Slightly less. 80 probably. Yeah, that looks good enough. Just gonna create a basic player. We're literally just gonna get our paintbrush. It's on black. And we're literally just gonna draw a stick person here. So they look a bit retarded, but you know, hey ho. Draw a little face on him. I'm going to remove the bit at the bottom because that isn't quite what I wanted it to look like. And yeah, change this to a brush, please. Thank you. Oh god, that's not. There we go. Just rub that bit out there. Okay, so we have our player for now. Player.png, or ping as I like to call it. So now we know the size of that. It was 80 by canvas size pixels, please. It was 112, right? Okay. Thanks to Photoshop, it automatically did that for us. 112. We could do it bigger, but then the image wouldn't render properly. Why is this returning? Ah, float. I did do a float. String. Ah, I know why. New image. There we go. It's because we didn't tell it to be an image. We just created that. Right. I should probably have that pre-done actually, but we can do that in a minute. So we'll just quickly render that. Ah, one thing that's not going to work is we actually need to do player dot render. And what we can actually do, we get rid of that, and we'll just create float x, float y. So then what we can actually do is intend it to render 0, 0, and then that should hopefully render the top screen, top corner, top left corner. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now let's add some basic movement. We're going to need input equals container dot get input. Okay, just game container. Let me import that first so we can debug this. This is basically, this here is the game container. So this window is just called the game container because it contains the game. So that there, if input dot is key down, input dot key, we'll do up, down, left, right. So there, then that, else if input dot is key down input dot key underscore s. I like to group my left and right and up and down separately. It's just the way I do things. So we can actually just copy and paste that. Ooh, why has that gone over there? This is going to need to be A. We'll do it to arrow keys as well in a minute. Just get this basic move, and we're just going to do X, which means we're going to need a private float movement speed, which equals say 0.3 f. F is just what you put on a float. You don't have to do it, but for something like a movement speed, we do it like that. X plus or equals 0.3 f. Actually, no, we don't want to do that. We want to do movement. I created that variable for a reason. Speed, sped. Oh god, what am I typing? There we go. That was actually wrong. This actually needs to be y. It's going to be y, because it's going up it needs to be minus. Same thing here. Y, but a plus. X. And A is going to be minusing it. Okay. Now what we're going to do here in the update method, we're going to do player.update. And that will update it for us. And thanks to Eclipse, it automatically puts that container in there as well. So if we push D, why is that? Ah, right. Think I get ya. I think I want rect dot set y. Then it is literally just y. Yeah. Because it's a rectangle, you see. We can't just do. We put all these in brackets. Rect.set y. There we go. Oops. Set z. It's not 3 dimensions, so you know it'll be a bit impossible. Thought of doing it 2.5D, but for simplicity, we'll just keep it 2D for now. Hopefully that will work. Image.draw x and y. X equals x. Actually, this needs to be this dot x, otherwise it will set the wrong x. And then this dot y equals y. Then it actually sets the x and stuff at the top. Why is that still not working? Okay, let's get rid of this because we didn't have it on the other one. That's going to muck around with that because that no longer has that either. Ah, there we go. For some reason that render thing was causing it. It's a little bit laggy because I'm live streaming, but you can see now we've got some basic movement on the screen. Yeah. To quickly add arrow keys, what we can just do is we can just do that. Just copy that there. And we'll just add OR key up. There we go. Or that's going to be down. It's going to be left. Right, for those of you wondering what keyboard I'm using, it's just a Exenta, like a slim chiclet keyboard. It's only £8. See there, it's just wireless. I can get the monitor light on it. See, it's very small, same sort of size as an Apple wireless keyboard, same sort of build, well, design kind of thing as well. It's quite small. It's not very good for typing on programming, which is why I usually use a big old style keyboard like that, which has had this ever since like 2001 or whenever it was, like an XP computer anyway. But yeah, see, it's got the old power buttons on there. I would usually use that, but for some reason it didn't initialize with the computer, so obviously I unplugged it, and then to actually get those PS2 keyboards to work, you have to reboot the computer. But if we debug this now, we should also get arrow keys. Yeah, you can see there, I'm pushing the arrow keys. Right, gonna go right, left is left, up is up, down is down. Going over here, W is obviously up, S is down, D is right, A is left. So just proof there, both of that working, you know, because I know people prefer arrow keys, or some people prefer WASD. I prefer WASD, because then it's awkward, you know, for a PC gamer. It's kind of awkward having your hands really close together, like you'll be doing the mouse, and then while you got your hands on the arrow keys as well, it's quite close to the mouse, and that can be, you know, a bit awkward and uncomfortable. So WASD is a more natural position for me because it's like shoulder width apart. But yeah, so then what we can do, if we ever wanted to make this go really fast, we can just increase this. So we'll just increase it to say 1, and then we'll notice that he moves a lot quicker in any direction we want. So yeah, obviously we need to program it so that you can't go off the edge, because at the moment you can go off the edge. We'll do collision later. But yeah, we'll just go into the sun, because why not? Yeah, I know this has got white around it, but I deliberately left that in on the image, so also we could see the bounds of the player there at the moment. Later on I'll do a transparent, when I actually do get a real player graphic, I'll do that and just put a rectangle outline around it, and then I'll just create a boolean that will literally disable all of those from just one setting. Debugging, as we call it, you know. So yes, basically, so what we're meant to do, so W is going up, so if it's getting either W or up as the key pushed, or down, this key down is when the user's holding it, like when it's actually down. This key pressed is then it has to be pushed and then released for it to actually do it. So down is it can just be down to do it, obviously. So yeah, what we want to do it, if it's going, if X isn't the top, if Y isn't the top of the container, game container, so if it isn't 0, then we want it to go up. But if it reaches 0, which is obviously the edge of it, then it can't go any further. So if that is that, and so we do and for when we want to call something. So this is an OR and this is an AND. So we've got, if that is that OR and, so this thing has to be true as well for it to do that. So it's a bit different than Visual Basic, because in C# and Java, the sort of similar languages, you don't actually put if that is equals true, then do that. It's literally, if you don't put literally whatever's in the brackets will just be true. If you want it to be false, then you literally just add an exclamation mark into it. That means if it's not that, then do that. So that's basically what you do there. So if it's that, and let's do rect, which is going to be the player. Why is that on? Rect.get y is bigger than 0. Move up. Let's just double check this, see if it works. Hello to the third viewer we now have, if you just joined, which you just did. Making a Java game, as you can see here. This isn't going to be the actual graphics of the game. This is temporary, just debugging graphics, just so we can get code working, and then I'll create proper graphics for it. The idea of the game, it's called Resource Defender for now. Might change the name later, but basically, 2 teams. It's going to be multiplayer. So you got 2 teams. You start off with a certain amount of resources, say 100 resources, and then you start off with some basic blocks, like some boxes or like a something. When I say blocks, it kind of makes it sound like Minecraft, but it really isn't. So not that I've got anything against Minecraft, obviously. I thought about making them 2D Minecraft parody at first, and then that kind of developed into this. So what we have is, yeah, a certain amount of resource, certain amount of, say, blocks. Once you place down those blocks, then obviously you have to then go and collect more resources to get more blocks to craft particular items. See, it sounds like Minecraft now. To craft particular things, or say make particular things like boxes. You can make weapons and things as well. So you can also make a drill that will help you get into the enemy's base, the other team's base. It will do a lot of damage, but very, very slowly. Or you can use weapons like such as guns, which will actually do little damage very quickly. So you can choose what one you want to do there. I'll probably just have guns, a simple gun for now, simple machine gun. The idea is you have to defend your base while at the same time collecting resources in order to build things to defend your base, this kind of thing. So you obviously run out of resources, then you have to go out of your base off to another level. So you won't be able to, your base won't be on the screen, so you won't be able to tell. It may have some sort of like mini map, so you can see if an enemy is attacking your base or not. I probably will add that as well. But the idea is then, obviously, because you can't see your own base, you don't know if the player's attacking or not. So that's the whole point. Is it's kind of a bit, do I leave it? Do I not? Obviously, you have to leave it to get resources to come back. But whilst you're away, that gives the enemy an opportunity to get in, which is why you have to get as many resources as you can to build defenses. Obviously, at the moment, it's just going to be one person on each team, just for simplicity of the code. Depending on how easy it is to code other players, like on each team, then I'll probably have something like probably about 4 people maximum, or at least 4 people, depending on what it is. Probably maybe just have like 4 to 6 players, I reckon, on each team, and then obviously one can say to defend, whatever, you know. But you can shoot the other player and kill them, but you won't, like, if you're dead. If you die, then you're not out of the game. You'll just simply respawn back at the beginning of your base. But to actually win, there's going to be 3 cores in your base all scattered around that the actual person has to destroy. That the other team has to destroy all 3 of them before you actually get killed or blown up or like out of the game. Pretty much you lose. So yeah, we've got basic movement so far. Let's just test if this is going to work. We just added a bit so we can't go past the top. And okay, that didn't actually do much. Okay. It should just be Y actually. Rect.getX, you see. Yeah. What is going on? Alright. Should that just be Y? And if Y is bigger than 0, let's try doing this as well. And then Y is less than container dot get height minus rect dot get height. be in another bracket. It's getting quite long there, but why is it saying delete this token? Why do we need to delete that? Oh right, okay. We actually put that outside the thing. Alright, there we go. So let's see if S works now. I've got a Skype message as well. Almost just still trying to get it to connect to Minecraft.net. Yeah, so this Citycraft launcher I'm working on, the actual launcher itself works. I think it just doesn't connect to Minecraft.net yet. So obviously, until I get that to do that, I can't check if it downloads properly and stuff. But hopefully, some reason, why is this not? Why is this not letting us? This is weird. Why is this? Oh, that works fine. If y is less than container.getHeight minus rect.getHeight. We might need to create a private float width, private float height there. And this dot width equals width. This dot height. Oops. Oh, God's sake. So basically what this code is going to do here, the width and height we actually set here is going to be then put into, that was weird, I don't know if you saw that black screen, this width and height here, which is why I was going to use that to try and do this dot height, possibly. I don't know if this will work. This should just be the same thing, so I don't quite understand why that wouldn't work. That worked. Right. So it works when we do the up arrow key, but not that. Because what if we put this into a bracket first? There, to say that's all one, because it might be just treat, because if it's or that and that, you know. Yeah, there we go. So that needs to be in a bracket. There we go. Yes, so that should be treating it all as one now. Go down, there we go. Let's just see what would happen if we did do rect.getHeight. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work for some reason. Anyway, the height's been set because we can clearly see it's working fine. So get my stream back up. Here we go. Woo! I'm using XSplit, by the way, for those you don't know. You can also change between scenes like that. Hello. There, like that. So we have that. Let me know if any of you are in the chat. Let me know if you can actually see the text okay on here. I think you probably can. It's in 1080p, so you know, change to that quality if you're on full screen to see it better. If you probably have already. Yeah, so that works fine. I don't quite know why the get height wasn't working, but this height variable seems to work fine. As you can see here, it's been here and here. So yeah, we need to put this into brackets now, so it's all treating it as 1. Then we need to go and x is greater than 0, then it won't go any further that way. And if it's further left, I should say, that and x is less than container, which is the window dot get height, get width, sorry, which is obviously 1280. The reason why I could just put 1280, but then if we change the resolution of it, it means we have to then change it on every single thing. If we defined it as a number, whether if I do dot get width, then if I change the resolution in the main class, then it automatically kind of updates, so that makes sense, because it's getting that width at that particular time. So get width minus width. Right, to see if that works now. So then we have our A. Yeah, that works fine. Just try it with the left, right arrow key, yeah, or left arrow key, say. Go all the way over to the right. We can do diagonal. You can see there. Seems to work fine. Try it with D. We go. So at the moment we can't go out here, but obviously we're going to change that because obviously it's going to be a side scroller, top down type thing. So yeah, we have our basic Java game here now. This sun up here looks really dumb. Just don't look at this bit here. Just no. So obviously you've got quite a good frame rate. You know, this is the best frame rate ever for a game. You know, no. It would normally be higher than this, probably be about 800, 900. But because I'm streaming with XSplit, it's a little bit intensive. So obviously it's going to reduce it down, and it's also using the graphics card as well, I think, to stream. So yeah, that is pretty awesome. Now what we need to do is need to add gravity. Otherwise, if we don't add gravity, then we'll just be starting up here each time. We'll have to manually move down. We want to add gravity so that the user can only will automatically fall down here, and then when they jump up, they'll go back again. They go back down. So obviously, oops, sorry, just not on the mic. Obviously, you're probably I don't know how well I'm going to keep that. Because obviously I don't know if I'm going to keep that in the final thing, because obviously to move up obviously to level and stuff, gravity will just keep pulling you down, so you won't be able to move up. So for now we'll just add gravity. We'll add gravity into the we'll create a world class. And we'll just keep it in its own little pack. We'll just keep it in the main package. World. Public. Oops, that was completely wrong. Public world. Right. Okay. Then we're just gonna do private float. Gravity. Reason why I'm doing gravity, so it affects all world. I'm just trying to think if we know, because then we'll need to initiate a new player, which wouldn't affect the actual player on the screen. So we could either add gravity into the main class or add it into the player and just have gravity set on the player. We add it into the main class, that would, but then it wouldn't make a difference, because then adding the gravity into the main class will just say player.setX or setY. That if we have it on the player, then Okay, so we won't have gravity in the world at the moment. We will have it. Actually, no, let's try it on here and see what would happen. Public float gravity, we'll say, if it's 1 that's moving up, then we'll just say do 0.5, because we always need to be the movement speed to be slightly larger than gravity so we can obviously move up. So we got a gravity here, and then we'll create a new section that's just public void set y, and then y float oh, we just float that as y there. So player, no, it'd be y equals y, but we need to do it as this dot y equals y world, and then we'll just do player dot set y plus gravity. Actually, we need to change this to y dot plus equals y. This dot private player import player, please. Player equals new player what if we add in here public void get players, then we'll just return player. We can't return that though, can we? You can change to return. And we can't do that then, can we? Can we not just do player? Oh, public void update game container world dot update container private world. What errors? Why is this not working? Okay, we'll just get rid of that for now. We'll probably gravity. Oh, sugar. World. We could just do that, possibly. It's going to say static now, isn't it? Yes. And then will that give any errors? No, it won't. It says there is, but there's not. Ah, here we go. Aha. See? Yeah, you thought I can do... Oh. Get Y. Return rect dot get Y. Yes, I know it's static. There we go. What? I'll just. All right. If player, oops, this host should be all players then. Player dot get Y. If player dot get Y is less than container dot get height minus player dot gets height. Yes or no, I haven't created dot get height yet. Should be another one there, shouldn't there? Get rid of that one. And a static as well whilst we're here, just why not? I had another player in a minute, see if it does it for all players. So we'll just do that. Da, 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 da. Oh. That should work. Slightly faster. Why is that not working? If player.getY right, okay, we'll just create this in the player for now. It's too much to get it out there, which means yeah, we'll leave that all as it is. Private float gravity equals 0.7f. At the same time, if y is less than container.get height minus height, then y plus equals gravity. Okay. Hopefully this should work now. Yeah, there we go. So now have gravity. You can see that it's a lot harder to get up now, and we'll just fall straight back down. What we'll actually do is we'll set gravity to be... set it to be 8 for now. It's probably lagging as well because off of the stream. And we'll set this movement speed to say be 1.5 so we can actually jump a bit higher. Or faster anyway. There we go. So then we can see as if I let go, it just falls back down now. So now I have gravity. That's on the player, so that'll be... so that will affect actually every player. The world I'll work on. But with the world we can actually just create a public private image background. Image background, sorry, background equals new image res slash background.png public void render. Why does this give me an error? Oh, need to throw, yes, that's why we need to throw that. Then we have background dot draw. It means we can actually now get rid of that hopefully, and we can just do get rid of that because that's not being used, but we'll just do world dot render. We'll render the world before the player obviously, and that means we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that as well now. And that means... there we go. So the world is now actually being drawn in its own separate thing, which is awesome. So we're rendering the world, and now we're rendering the player, which is pretty awesome. Right, now I think the next thing will be to do is to get... could we get collision working? We could do. Suppose we could get collision working, couldn't we? We're also going to need a variable in here now as well, aren't we? We're going to need some booleans. Private boolean. Actually, we'll make them public. Oops. Just in case we need to use them. Is jumping, which is going to equal false by default. Public boolean. Why did I put equals? I have no idea. I done it again, didn't I? Public boolean is colliding, which equals false as well. And when we do that, is jumping equals true, which we're going to also want to be afterwards. What we're also going to want to be doing as well is when we update the player, we're also going to want to be system.out.print line is jumping plus is jumping. So now it'll actually tell me if jumping's actually being told to be false or not, which probably most likely won't. Yeah, so look, it's gonna be true from now on. But what we can also do, if it's container.that, then that. If container dot get no if y is equal to container dot get height minus height. There's got one too many in. Is jumping equals false. Also, if that is that or is colliding, which we're going to need later on, because if it's colliding something, then jumping will be false. So then what this should do is, if it gets to the bottom, jumping is going to be false. So we can go up, jumping's true. When it hits the bottom, it should be false again, which it's not. If y equals container.getHeight minus height is jumping equals false. What should that go below that though? Just try. Well, that should probably won't make a difference anyway. So jumping's false, you see. Yeah, which is fine. That's fine. That's how it's supposed to be. Goes up. Jumping's true. Yep, which is also because it's in the air, so it's jumping. For some reason, when it's on the ground, it's not. We'll also print out so we won't print that out, we'll print out y equals that plus y, which means debugging that now we get y equals 608, so see there, all that at the top is going to be 0 kind of thing. So all the way down, y is being decreased. So at the bottom there, 608. What happens if we manually do that number? I wonder. We can go down faster than that now. See, that's on 609 now. See, the number's always changing. If y is greater than or equal to, let's try that. And we're going to need to print out how it is jumping now as well. Jumping's true. Set down to there. It's false now. There we go. Hopefully, if we just get rid of this line here. So I'm printing out jumping. So we're up here, we're jumping. It's there. Jumping's now false. We go. So we've got that working now. So as you can see down here at the console, you can see when we're up in the air, we're jumping, you know, blah blah blah, we're jumping, well we're flying at the moment, but we're jumping. When it's back on the ground, jumping's now false. So that will help us with collision as well. I think that could probably go there, and that should be fine, just to keep it simple. False, yeah, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. Right, and so now we've got that moving, we've got basic movement, so what do we want to do now? We've got we've got the world, which is in our world class here. We'll play around with gravity later. We won't worry about that for now. So we've got the world, which is being rendered, which is that background at the moment. And then we've got the player on there. The next, I don't. We could do enemies at the moment, but the whole point of the actual game isn't focused around enemies, like mobs. They will be. I'm not entirely sure if I definitely want to have them in there. I mean, I probably will, but they're not our main They're not my main focus right now. The main focus is getting some sort of playable, some sort of player system with collisions and weapon firing. So I guess the easiest thing next would be to have a weapon. So we'll just draw like some sort of simple gun for now. We'll do it a slightly different colour so we can actually see it. Just do like a. I'm actually on the. Oh, yeah, that's a terrible gun. Yeah, so left some sort of simple gun there. Obviously these aren't final graphics, it's just simple testing graphics. A player, underscore weapon, so we know that he's the one with the weapon there. We'll need a bullet, which means we're going to create one. How big do we want the bullet? That's 50. I'm not going to want it any more than 30, are we? So that's quite. No, that'd be good enough size. Do the bullet as that. Some sort of gold, sort of orange type colour. That. There we go. Save as bullet.png. So for this we're going to need an array list, which is obviously going to have the multiple which means we're going to need to have a new we're going to need to create a new package called .projectiles. No, we don't create a new package, we just did that. I want to create a new class. Bullets. Private image. Image. So need to import the slick version of that. Private. No. It's public. Bullets. Image equals new image. res/bullet.png. PBNG. I spelled image wrong. Okay. What's the wrong problem? Okay. Now I did have up not that long ago actually. I had a YouTube video up about bullets. There we go. Which, if I remember rightly, this is what I used before.
Okay, so in today's video I'm going to be expanding on the game that I made in the previous video, which is a 2D side-scrolling game. And here we have the code from the previous video, the 3 classes. And in this video I'm going to be adding a bulleting system, so firing system to our main character. So you see our code from the previous video, it's just the character moving left, right. He can jump, and obviously the background scrolls as you move. So to add the ability for this person to fire, we are going to have to make a new class. So we go and make a new class here, and we can call it bullet, because it's going to be this class is going to represent each bullet that the character is firing. So in this bullet class, we're going to have to make a basic criteria for each bullet that the character fires. So first of all, we're going to import java.awt.star, and we are going to add some attributes. So each bullet is going to have a x and y coordinates. So that's pretty obvious. It controls the location of the bullet. So any other class can call these attributes and get the x and y position of the current bullet. Usually the y will not change for this game. And next we're going to need an image for the bullet. So image img, and we're going to load that up as the image of the bullet, which will be stored on the hard drive. So this is a random bullet image I found online, so I'm just going to use this as an example, and we store it under C/bullet, and then we start the constructor of this class. And the constructor public bullet is going to be called whenever we call this class, we instantiate this class. So we're going to have a starting x value and a starting y value for this bullet.
Right. And which means we're going to need a if we have any problems with floats and stuff, we can just change it afterwards. Actually, we'll float it now. I like it being floats, not ints. It's just the way I am. So we've got the image, then we have a private float. What am I doing? X private float. Yeah, I can do them on the same line. Just I like doing them separately. Again, it's just the way I am. Each program has different ways. Okay, so I'm assuming X would then get changed to this.
And we're going to set X equal to the starting X, and we're going to set Y equal to the starting Y.
Yeah,
so
just as I predicted. This dot X equals start X. Do that to make sure it just gets the right stuff. Equals start Y. Okay, so let's just double check highlighting that. Shows we're on this. That shows we're on this. Okay, so that's all right. Start Y there. Start X there. Yep, that's fine. Wouldn't expect anything less.
The initial X and Y coordinates will be whatever is passed into this class. So right now we have a bullet at this X and Y coordinate, and we are going to load up the image as image icon new bullet is equal to new image icon, and then here we put our C bullet.png, and as you can see, this is the same as we did earlier for loading up the image of the
skip forward. I'm not gonna watch the whole 17-minute video.
When we advance this game further, if the bullet hits something, we don't want to show it anymore. So we create another variable here, and we can make it a boolean visible is equal to
private boolean is visible equals. I don't know if he has a particular thing that it sets to at first. Probably.
We can set the initial value to true because.
Oh yeah, I suppose true because obviously it's going to be when we actually do new bullet, it's going to be visible anyway. Yeah.
We know that at first, this bullet will be true initially, and or we can just set visible equal to true.
1420.
And we're going to remove this index from the bullet's array list. So that's all we have to do, and it's pretty logical as to what we are doing. And we created a bullet.
Get X, get Y, get visible, get image. Why do we need to get image? I don't know. But he's got a visible there, so surely visible equals true. Okay. Is visible equals true. Public. Is this just a public? Public int. Can't type today. Public get X, which is just going to return X. Public float gets Y, which is just going to, oops, return Y. Should this, no, okay, it didn't. And also get visible as well. Oops, what am I doing? That's going to return is visible. Right. Although, you know, the weapons could be done after collisions, I think the weapons is a lot more easy than collisions.
Class,
so
and
do
this
that
bullet
first.
class has all the attributes of the bullet, and we can create multiple objects of the bullet class. So in order to have multiple bullets, and we create an array list that stores all our bullets on.
So we need a static array list in there, aren't we? We'll do that a public as well. We're going to need to import that. Oh. What?
The screen right now.
Oh, yeah, of course, I'm being dumb. Bullets. Now we can import it. There we go.
Now, and we
Bullets equals new array list. Okay, yep. We've got get bullets, fire, move. So that's stack array list, get bullets, which we can just stick under here, I suppose. No, it's going to be public static array list get bullets, and that's just going to return bullets. Public void fire, public void move bullets. I know it says move, but I call it move bullets, and in that way I can tell that's for the
basically
bullet.
print each.
Don't do that.
All our bullets on the screen right now.
So bullet z equals new bullet. Bullets.add z. Why is z? I don't know. So we got bullet, bullet equals new bullet. x, which is going to be width and height divided by 2, just to make it come out flat. We're going to need to import that, aren't we? Bullets dot bullet left plus dot dx equals that what? Oh, move isn't. No, move. No. Move isn't actual. No, that's not move bullet. That's just to move the player. So screw that.
And we basically print each, and we go.
Action performed. Let's update. Array list bullets equals do.get bullets. Yeah. Array list dot bullets equals get bullets. It's player dot get bullets. Yeah. And then there, for every that as that. Add that over here. For int w equals 0, then I want equals 0. Bullets dot size w plus plus bullet equals bullet bullets dot get w if bullet dot is dot get visible equals true. True. Then yeah, what's that? Okay. Bullet dot move. Okay, so there is a move class in there. Anything else? Bullets dot remove w. So when the bullets are no longer visible, it removes them from that, which means we're going to need to import that. So thank you. Move, yes, we haven't got anything. Create method bullet, please. Thank you. X plus equals bullet speed. Private float bullet speed. 0.5s for now.
Through the whole array list.
We're also going to need to do,
And we print each bullet on the screen.
action performed. Oh, I just did that in that, didn't I? Bollocks. Excuse my French. If input dot is key down input dot space dot key and so space. No, it was. I'm so.
So as you can see, we have our same
No,
game
this is.
here, and now when we press space, a bullet gets launched. So we can launch as many bullets as we want here, and
Shouldn't this be in render actually? And then we'll just do fire there, so we get that up. Bullets dot add bullet. Don't understand this.
we want a new bullet. So bullet, if we watch the previous video, left controlled where the we pass it these two values. This is going to be our initial x and our initial y. It's just an array which continues to grow as you add things in. We have, and so this basically allows other classes to act. Now, when we call the constructor in this, we want to be able to add key pressed. So we copy this and we paste it here. So if key pressed is vk underscore or spacebar. So for example, for pressing the spacebar on our keyboard, then we want to be able to fire. So just call the fire method. And remember, the fire method creates a new object from the bullet class and it adds it to the array list. So now we're done with this class. Now we need a new and now we need to make some changes to our board class. So our board class has our paint. Now we just need to print. Now we know how many bullets are supposed to be on screen. Now we just need to print our bullets, and that's going to be done in the main class. So right at the end of the in the paint class. Right at the end of our paint class, I'm going to add something to print everything. Print basically everything that's on screen. So right in here, we're going to create an array list called bullets is equal to, so do dot get bullets. Okay, so the reason why I need to create a new, the reason why I created a new array list is because this do dot get bullets returns our array list as an array list. So we need to create an array list to store that array list. So now now basically we have a bunch of objects inside of an array and we want to print each one. So for this we're going to use a loop from 0 to bullets dot size, so this just returns the size of the bullets array list, and w plus plus. So we're gonna loop through the whole array list and we're going to get each element. So remember, each element stored in this is an object of the bullet class. So we need to get that object by creating a new bullets.getW. So we need to create this object to store this, and we need to just cast this to a bullet. Now at this point we have gotten our bullet and we've stored it in this M object. So this .get returns whatever is in the array list at a specific index. Now we draw our image. So draw image, and we do m.getImage because that returns our image here of bullet. And so now it asks where we want to draw it. So that's just simple, m.getX and m.getY.
Drawing that there, which means then we got image dot draw xy. And then this should work. A bullet was 50 by 30. Huh? Oh. Yay! Firing a bullet! Why is that not going? Fire. Bullet equals new bullet. That bullets dot add bullet. Why is this not working? Move bullet we can get rid of, we don't need that. Update. Oh, that's not an actual size, that's the star text and height. There we go. What am I doing? 30. I'm not doing anything. Bullet equals bullet. Bullets dot get. What does that do? That's what I want to know. Okay, yeah, so remember that was actually rendering when that player is there. That's what this should be doing, but it's not. Oh, go away. Why is this not working, I wonder? Right, okay, this is going to take a while to get loaded, but anyway, I'm going to end the stream there for tonight. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you some other time with another stream in the future. Obviously the game would have progressed on from there. So yeah, I will see you guys later.